والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وآله وأزواجه وذريته أجمعين. We've been the term intuition came in discussion in our reading a few times, when we were reading Reconstruction of Religious Thought in Islam and also its translation. So I thought we'll have a look and just review the concept. So intuition, as it says, derived from a Latin word which means to see or look at. The intuition is the innate power of mind to see or directly apprehend truths without the aid of sensory stimuli and without prior inference or discussion. So innate power is a power of mind, intuition, to see, like power of eye to see. So according to this view, human eye sees. Also human mind sees, although they see different things. So we have a mind and we have eye to see, and eye sees as well. And there's something common between these two types of seeing, but there's also something which distinguishes between them. So the innate power of eye to see. So let's see first the commonalities. They both directly. So this is a direct apprehension of truth, not mediated. I mean, obviously all these are claims, and all these claims can be challenged and has been challenged by different philosophers. But as far as the claim goes, the claim is that I can see and a mind can see, and both of these seeing has commonality that they are direct, that they are not inferential knowledge, direct knowledge, because when I see a tree outside, I'm seeing it directly. But if I say somebody says that the tree outside is green, I can infer from that it has branches and it has leaves and all those things. So that's an inferential knowledge. But when I see a tree with my own eyes, that's a direct knowledge. Similarly, some philosophers claim that mind can see as well. But the difference is the difference consists in the objects. The seeing of mind So there are three things about it. The direct seeing, like number two, there's no sense involved. So mind's eyes has no role to play in there, or any other senses. And the third, and that's the main difference between the seeing, what I see is the object they see. What I see is the physical object. But what the mind sees is the rational object. And obviously this implies that rational objects actually exist. And those philosophers who believe in the existence of rational objects, like the existence of physical objects, they are called rationalists. The empiricists deny that. Empiricists say that rational objects are just the mind's constructions. They don't have external existence. In our Islamic term, we say that they only have wujud al-zahni, like mental existence. They don't have wujud al-khariji. They don't have external existence, or they don't have what in our Islamic terms we call, they don't have masadak. Not Islamic terms, but what I mean by Islamic terms is the terms of Islamic disciplines. In terms of Islamic discipline, and they're similar to a lot of stuff in Western philosophy as well, because they all have their origin, in a sense, in Christian and Greek learning. Okay. So the innate power of mind to see or directly apprehend truths without the aid of sensory stimuli, and without prior inference or discussion. I don't know what he said, why he said discussion, but I guess he's just using discussion as an alternative way of saying inference. It is knowing a particular in a universal in a single flash of insight. Well, that's a particular way. That's now he's talking about how we actually see. And my hunch is, I don't know, but my hunch is that different philosophers do that differently. So this look like a Platonic method. This sounds like a Platonic method. You see a chair, you see lots of chairs. The empiricists would say that you come at the concept of general or ideal chair through generalization. On the other hand, rationalists like Plato would say that you see different chairs, and in that seeing you apprehend directly a particular rational chair which exists in the world of form in a single flash of light or insights, because apparently you already have the knowledge, innate knowledge of that particular rational chair in your soul or your mind anyway. But when you see different particular chairs outside and abstract from their physical existence, you can somehow see through the eye of the mind that particular rational chair, which is particular in the sense that it is a specific thing, but it is universal in the sense that a lot of particular partake in it. Okay. So intuitive knowledge is thus distinguished from inferential knowledge. So intuitive, in this philosophical sense, just means direct knowledge, not inferential knowledge or not mediated knowledge. Direct knowledge is, for example, for most philosophers, not for all philosophers, or at least, if we are if by direct we are just meaning non-inferential knowledge and not just non-mediated knowledge, then probably most philosophers will agree that when I'm seeing a tree outside, I'm seeing it directly. That is not inferential knowledge. But if somebody is saying to me, the tree, I have a apple tree in my backyard, and from there, if I can inference, that tree has certain color of leaves, etc., based on my prior knowledge, etc., and the information I've been provided. So that would be inferential or indirect knowledge. Okay, so intuition in philosophy, because in everyday use intuition can mean different things, but in philosophy intuition just means direct knowledge. And then there are two types of intuitions, sense intuitions and mental intuitions. There are some philosophers who believe in both and some don't believe in mental intuition, and they think that mental intuitions are just abstraction from sensual intuition. So in that sense they don't have any outside or external existence or independent existence from. Okay, so intuition can be empirical, like my seeing of a tree. It can be practical or direct awareness of whether a particular circumstance fits a general rule. For example, general rule is don't lie. So if somebody is lying, I can directly comprehend that. That would be, I guess, the example. And it can be intellectual intuition and apprehension of a universal concept, self-evident truths, or ineffable objects such as God. If somebody can see God, God is not a, or somebody can see ideal chair if it exists. That's a intellectual intuition, but it's universal only in the sense that a lot of things partake in it, but it itself, an audio chair itself is a particular thing, and also God itself is a particular thing. If there is a God, for example. So practical intuition is part of a practical reason and was discussed by Aristotle. In ethics, intellectual intuition or reason's insight is a crucial faculty of the rationalist tradition. So rationalist, and what especially in the modernist tradition, the tradition of modern philosophy, what distinguishes rationalists from empiricists is one of the things is this. What distinguishes the rationalist tradition in this particular, because rationalist can be used in different senses. In one sense, rationalist includes empiricist as well, but in here, rationalist is used in a specific sense. So, and in this specific sense, rationalists are contrasted to empiricists. And one of the main distinction between these two traditions in modern philosophy is that rationalists believe in intellectual intuition, in the power of mind to see. On the other hand, empiricists like Locke and Hume, etc., they deny this. But rationalists like Descartes or Spinoza and Leibniz, they all believe in intellectual intuition in a certain sense, even though they are all modern philosophers. And in a sense, both rationalist and empiricist tradition in modern philosophy, they are Cartesian traditions. But rationalists develop Cartesian insights in a rationalist manner. On the other hand, empiricists develop Cartesian tradition in an empiricist manner, empiricist way. But the basic distinction here, especially in modern philosophy, between rationalists and one of the basic difference between rationalists and empiricists is that empiricists deny that there is any intellect or mind has any power to intuit. And rationalists, on the other hand, believe in the power to intuit, believe in the power of mind to intuit. So for empiricists, rational concepts are all abstractions or generalizations, okay, or both. Obviously, you need to abstraction is very important. We should look at abstraction is actually a philosophical technique par excellence, and you use it in generalization of all sorts. Okay. So intellectual intuition or reasons insight is the crucial faculty for rationalist tradition. For Descartes, it is the recognition of the starting point of deduction as in deduction of the whole system of knowledge. So it starts from intuitive truths, which are intellectual in a sense, and the top one of them is I think, therefore I am, that there are the mind, the essence of mind. The mind exists, and the essence of mind. The essence of mind is to think, and from there he draws other axioms, and from there he deduces the whole, or builds the whole edifice of knowledge anew. The edifice which he had destroyed or deconstructed through his methodic doubt. We have separate videos on that, so you can have a look. For Spinoza, it is a scientific intuition, and it is the highest of the three modes of knowing. For Kant, it is a type of experience in which the normal antithesis of sense and thought, particularly, have been. I don't get this. I don't know what he's talking about here, because for Kant, as far as I understand, for Kant, denies that mind has power to intuit. An intuition for Kant is either formal or material. So formal, mind can provide formal contours of intuition, but it can't actually intuit anything material in that sense, any content. The all content basically come from senses, according to Kant. And in this way, Kant tried to synthesize empiricist and rationalist tradition in modern philosophy. Okay, intuition plays an important role in mathematics, metaphysics, ethics, logic, especially with regard to the fundamental concepts and principles of these areas. However, intuition as a faculty is impossible to check. It is viewed by some as non-rational or non-cognitive, and it's claimed to be the source of knowledge. Always faces suspicion, because you can't check it. Because if I say, for example, I'm seeing a tree, you can check it because it's a public object, and even that is denied by some skeptics. But generally, you can agree. But intellectual intuition, if Plato is saying I'm seeing forms, I'm seeing chair, we can't check that form of chair. Empiricism in general rejects the existence of the faculty of intuition. We already touched on that. And here's the quote. He or she, whoever the author is, sorry if it is she, I've been saying he. So this is a quote from Kant's Critique of Pure Reason. In whatever manner and by whatever means a mode of knowledge may relate to objects, intuition is that through which it is an immediate relation. So intuition is a direct relation to them, to the object, and to which all thought as a means is directed. Okay, so I think this was pretty useful, at least for me. I think generally a good entry. Although his or her claim on Kant, I couldn't understand. No, so I'm not saying they're wrong, but I just didn't get them. Okay, thank you.